I'd like to call the May 30th School Board Discussion Meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Adams.
Here.
Dr. Anderson. Here. Mr. Caligiuri. Here. Ms. Chudderwitz.
Here.
Mr. Devine.
Here.
Mr. Hill is not present this evening. Mr. Sokolsky.
Here.
Mrs. Stepnick.
I'm here.
Ms. Wetmore.
Present.
Student Representative, Ms. Lauren Price.
Here.
Thank you. The board met in executive session on May 30th, 2023 to discuss matters of litigation, safety, personnel, and real estate. Recommend approval of the following minutes as listed below.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion passes. Recommend approval of, oh, I just did that one, sorry. This time I'd like to open citizens' comments on agenda items.
If anybody would like to make comments on agenda items, we ask you to step to the podium one at a time, state your name, your residency within Plum, and you will have 5 minutes to speak. I will put a timer on the screen so that you can track your own timing as well, but I will give you a 30-second warning. Please direct your comments to the board officials. Just a reminder that this is a time for providing suggestions and comments rather than a Q&A session with the board. Whenever you're finished, I just ask that you step to the clipboard at the end of the table and place your name so that I spell it correctly for the minutes.
And I do check with your records. All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you for hearing me tonight. My name is Jenna Riminelli. I'm a citizen of Plum, but I teach here at the high school. I help run the gifted program, one of our amazing gifted students right there, as well as work with the yearbook. I just want to take the opportunity to address all of you and say thank you for the opportunity to work with Dr. Hyland, Dr. Walsh, Mr. Manzer on what we believe is a really fair and student-first contract. I think that this is a contract that will motivate teachers to want to come to Plum, and it will motivate teachers to want to stay in Plum. And I think it's education first. This was always part of our discussion. There was never a time where students were not first, whenever on whatever side of the table. And to Dr. Hyland and Dr. Walsh and Mr. Manzer and Ms. Stella, because I'd be remiss not to say you, thank you very much.
Jenna, and thank you for all the work you did on your end. And not just with the contract, but everything you do on a day-to-day basis. Your name is one of the names we hear a lot, and I appreciate that.
Thank you. I'm so proud to work here in Plum. So, again, this is something I think that reflects that.
Thank you.
If I can add something too about the negotiation process that we went through. We started in the fall, and on the off chance that we might be able to get something done, the board gave me a directive to see if we could get something done early. The board recognized that the job market is getting tougher, and it's becoming harder and harder to get good professionals. We don't have as many professionals going into the career of education, and so we need to be as competitive as we possibly can, yet we have to balance that with being fiscally responsible. And I will tell you, as we started that process in the fall, and we were kind of like looking at each other like, we're making some progress here, and we're going faster than we thought we would. And the reason I think we were able to bring this to a conclusion was that we were putting kids first. It was always kids first in the discussion process. And part of putting kids first is having good individuals and quality professionals in front of students. And you get what you pay for. And we have some absolutely fantastic teachers who genuinely care about these kids. And I just want to thank Mr. Pillig, and I want to thank Ms. Romanelli for the work that they put in. They were consummate professionals as we went through this process. And I genuinely want to thank them for the good that they're doing for this district. Not only at the negotiation table, they were pretty good negotiators, I'll tell you that, but they also do good work with these kids, and I appreciate that, and I want to make sure that I said that publicly to you and to Mr. Billy.
Thank you, Dr. Allen. Thank you.
Are there any other comments on agenda items at this time? Mr. Devine, back to you.
Thank you. I have no president's report tonight. Is there a superintendent's report?
I think I just gave mine.
Thank you. And we have one recognition tonight. Am I doing it? I guess that's on me. We'd like to recognize Lauren Price as our 2022 and 2023 school board representative. Lauren, thank you for everything you've done. I like to hear the students' perspective on anything we're talking about. You've always given good perspective, as well as the monthly reports. We can see what we see on Twitter. We hear what we hear from the administration, but to hear it from a student gives a completely different perspective, and one that I've always enjoyed hearing. And I thank you very much for everything you've done, and wish you nothing but luck as you move on.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Mr. Devine, can I just add, Lauren, one of the things I think that you have done really well with is always being professional, even when you're dishing us bad news, and we need to hear it. And so keep that about yourself as you move forward, because you're off to do big things.
Thank you.
All right, there's one more thing in there. Hold on, one more.
Did you get anything else in there? There you go.
Go Irish, unless it's against the Badgers or Panthers.
All right, for the final time, the student representative's report.
Tonight, I have 2 items of feedback for consideration. On May 4th, students and families were notified via school email that the senior parade would take place on May 23rd. This is a newer tradition that began a few years ago as a way to celebrate the Plum graduates. Many students made preparations to decorate their vehicles, and family, friends, and community members made plans to watch the parade around the borough and the high school. Unfortunately, the parade was canceled via Facebook on May 21st, only 2 days before the event. This was very disappointing to all who made arrangements to come to the parade, and the students who were not only looking forward to celebrating with their friends, family, and community, but also purchased decorations and began decorating their vehicles. There has also been some confusion as to why the parade was canceled. It has been made aware that it was deemed unsafe by the police department, but many have voiced their disappointment and frustration as the parade was allowed to take place for the past few years. So students and families would have liked to see more safety regulations be made to the senior parade rather than it being canceled altogether. Additionally, at graduation last week, LifeTouch was hired to take photos of the graduates. There were many complaints from families as LifeTouch is a bit of an expensive company. To give an example, 5 digital photos cost $90. If you wanted an actual print, the cost was in the hundreds. So for next year's graduation, many families would be thankful for a more affordable option. Now I have some activity updates. The high school music department competed at Virginia Beach Festivals of Music. The orchestra was second in class with an excellent rating. The concert choir was second in class with a superior rating. The treble chorus, symphonic band, and marching band were first in class with a superior rating. The chamber choir was first overall choir and first in class with a superior rating. The concert band was the first overall band and first in class with a superior rating. And the jazz ensemble was the first overall jazz ensemble and first in class with a superior rating. The saxophones won the best overall section, and Gabriel Powell won the best overall soloist with his baritone saxophone. On May 1st, seniors were recognized for their academic achievement of high honor roll throughout all 4 years of high school. Each senior gave a short speech and was awarded a plaque and certificate. Prom was held on May 12th. The night began at the promenade in the high school auditorium. Then students enjoyed dinner, dancing, and a photo booth at the Omni William Penn. Caden Anderson and Sheridan Russo were crowned prom king and queen. On May 15th, several high school seniors were awarded scholarships from the school and community organizations at Senior Awards Night. Now for some spring sports. The boys baseball team are the 2023 section champs. They have made a solid run in the Whitfield playoff and will be playing in the Whitfield Consolation Final against Penn Trafford tomorrow at 6:30 for a spot in state playoffs. The girls lacrosse team are the 2023 section champs, and the track team had 15 Whitfield qualifiers and 2 state qualifiers this season. 268 students graduated from Plum Senior High School during the commencement ceremony on Wednesday, May 24th. Dr. Hibner, Mr. Hill, Dr. Hyland, Lauren Price, Annabelle Arhin, Thomas Sumo, Alexander Miller, and Kaylin Behringer delivered speeches to the class of 2023. Now, I would like to thank my principals and superintendent for selecting me for this position, allowing me to advocate and be a voice for my student body. I would also like to thank all of the school board members for being so supportive to not only me, but to all of the students in our district. So thank you. Finally, I would like to congratulate the new student representative, Reese Schollert. I know that you will do great things. Never be afraid to speak up and advocate for the students you represent. Good luck.
Lauren, thank you. And with that, we have the appointment of the new student board rep for the 2023-24 school year, Reese Schollert, senior for the 2023-24 school year.
We have your plaque ready for you.
Hello. Welcome.
Pass me the torch.
Yeah, I'm gonna figure it out, please, if I don't use your official.
All right, I think Mr. Caligiuri said something very similar to Lauren last year when she took over, but you have very big shoes to fill. But the student reps we've had since I've been on the board have all been excellent, and I'm looking forward to working with you. All right, we have a consent agenda tonight. We're going to approve everything at one time. Recommend approval to accept and resolve the following 12 to 21 is listed.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? I'm abstaining from the line item in the report with my father's paycheck. Are there any lead board liaison reports for tonight?
I mean, I have one if no one else does. Okay, for safety. Evening, everyone. Start off, classroom door numbers at the high school have been changed for the next school year. The new flag classroom door numbers have been ordered and will be installed district-wide over the summer. This will make the room numbers more numerically appropriate. All classroom numbers will be visible from either end of the hallway, and this is specifically also for the first responders. And will complete one of the few remaining recommendations from the Pennsylvania State Police Risk and Vulnerability Assessment. Next, safety and security updates were covered at the district's in-service training on May 16th. Topics covered included situational awareness, safe to say, threat assessment, EOP updates for next year, and cybersecurity training and awareness. The reunification plans for all buildings have been updated to be in compliance with the standard reunification method that is now considered best practice across the country. And lastly, school police officers completed their annual firearms qualifications and received updated Stop the Bleed training at the Renton Gun Club on May 16th. And that's everything I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Wetmore?
I just wanted to say on behalf of the Equity and Inclusion Committee, thank you to the board for your support of the School Meals for All. And I look forward to getting that out to our local representatives. And I also want to wish Ms. Price the best of luck and express how absolutely awe-inspiring the speeches that our students gave were at graduation this year. You guys, you displayed so much empathy for your classmates and were so inclusive of one another that it literally brought tears to my eyes. So keep up the good work.
All right, at this time, I'd like to open the floor to citizens' comments on non-agenda items.
If anybody would like to make comments on non-agenda items, please step to the podium at this time. State your name, your residency within Plum, and you will have 5 minutes. Whenever you're finished, just write your name on the clipboard at the end of the table. Anybody at this time? Mr. Devine, back to you.
Thank you. We have a board discussion and action meeting on Tuesday, June 13th. There will only be one next month at 7 o'clock here in the library. And we have a special voting meeting, if necessary, on July 19th at 7 o'clock. That will be online if it's necessary. Before we motion to adjourn, we have a new facilities director. Dr. Howard, would you like to introduce him? Sorry? Facilities director.
Yeah.
He thought he was getting wet.
Would you like to introduce yourself to the community?
You can do that.
No, you do it. All right, I'll beat you to it. All right. The board has already met Mr. Finney, as you know. Mr. Walsh has taken a position as facilities director at the Hampton School District, and we wish John the best of luck. Mr. Finney joins us from the Woodland Hills School District. We went through a pretty rigorous interview process. He came out, first of all, he came out alive and unscathed, and he came to the top of the process. So we'd like to welcome Mr. Finney to the district, and he will begin work tomorrow morning at, what did you say, 6 a.m.?
6 a.m.
That sounds good to me. So if you want to say hello, that'd be great.
Again, hello everyone, and again, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Glad to be here.
I would now like to call the meeting adjourned. Do I have a motion and a second?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned.